Good afternoon, Ayana. My name is Christina. I'm the HR representative. Here with me I have disciplinary officer, Disola. I have the observer, Christiana, the HR legal specialist, Lauren, and you have with you the trade union representative, which is Jamal. The purpose of the meeting is to discuss concerns related to your conduct, as discussed in the investigation meeting on 2nd and 23rd of July. Particular accusation we want to discuss negligence of work and bullying and intimidating. During the hearing you will be given every opportunity to discuss and make any points, and you will be able to bring any issue which you want to consider. As also you have the right to call a break anytime as you wish.
Okay, thank you. Having heard everything run through by our HR representative, are you happy to begin the procedure?
Yes.
The first accusation that we're going to address is in regards to neglection of duties. And this will be concerning the manipulation of documents, including deducting hours from a partner who worked over their authorized visa restrictions, which means they were paid less than they actually worked. Before we begin questioning on this, do you have anything you want to say to justify your actions taken in processing payroll?
No, I'm happy to be questioned.
Brilliant. Are you aware of company procedure, and did you feel you were following correct procedure with changing hours?
Well, I was looking out for the partner. I didn't want her visa to be affected, so I didn't realise I was doing anything wrong. I always follow company procedure, and I was doing it all in the best interest of our staff.
In reference to the allegation of deliberate adjustment to IMS receipts to avoid high markup of wastage of products, do you have any argument or justification for this?
So this only happened due to inaccurate delivery. This was not anything that was to do with my conduct. I had to just change it to fix the discrepancy that happened as part of the delivery.
Okay. Can you tell me the consequences of manipulation or falsifying company documents?
I'm unsure at this time.
Have you ever received a company handbook?
Yes, I did when I started in 2002.
And have you received a company handbook since then?
No, and no further training either.
Have you ever had cause to make reference to your handbook if there's any time where you've been unsure of something that you're carrying out in the workplace?
Well, no. Obviously, I thought I'd retained all information from the beginning, and also this is I don't have to deal with visa requirements very often, so this was like a one-off type of thing for me, so I'm not used to dealing with this situation.
Okay. Having received a company handbook, you might like to make reference to the company guide to clarify how serious the consequences of manipulation are.
In that case, I'd like to call on a German for my client, please.
Okay, granted.
Okay, good afternoon, Ayana. My name is Christina. I'm the HR representative. I'm having with me our discipline officer, Disola, our observer, Christiana, and we have the HR legal specialist, Warren, and you have the trade union representative, Jamal. The purpose of the meeting is to discuss concerns relating to your conduct as discussed in the investigation meeting on 2nd and 23rd of July. Particular accusations we want to discuss negligence of work, bullying and intimidating. During the hearing you will be given every opportunity to discuss and make any points that we will be able to bring. During the hearing you will be given every opportunity to discuss, to make any points, and you will be able to bring other issues which you may want to consider. Also, you have the right to call a break anytime as you wish.
Okay, thank you.
Having heard everything run through by the HR representative, are you happy to begin the procedure?
Yes, that's fine.
Brilliant. We have a number of allegations that we're going to run through today. The first will be a neglect of duty that is manipulation of documents, including deducting hours from a partner who worked over their authorised visa restrictions, which means they were paid less than they actually worked. Before we begin questioning on this, do you have anything you want to say to justify your actions taken in processing payroll?
Okay, well, I've been processing payroll for years now, and I was just looking out for the partner. I wanted her visa to be unaffected. I didn't realise I was doing anything wrong at the time, and the way that I saw it is I was going to rectify it in the following week so that she doesn't lose out on pay. It's just so that her visa would remain protected. Also, I'd like to add that I did speak to Mark previously and asked for further training, which he advised that he had mentioned to HR, and it wasn't followed up. So,
okay. So you say you've worked for the company for years, in that you've done your work for years. How long have you worked for us?
well, since 2002.
Okay. And having spoken with Mark, did you feel this was your only opportunity to seek training?
As far as I was aware, yes, because I mentioned it to him, we discussed it in length, and he advised me that he had brought it to HR, and I heard nothing further.
Okay, I can understand that. And in your 8 years, did you feel comfortable enough to perhaps reach out to a district manager or any other employee who could have aided your training?
No, I felt that if training was taken seriously enough, it would have been followed up in the first instance. I thought maybe there was an issue, so I wouldn't mention it again.
Okay. So just referring back to the actions you took in processing payroll, did you think to confer with the employee about their visa restrictions and to confirm what they were permitted to work during the week?
No, because by my understanding, the employee was on a tier 4 visa. It was only later that I was notified that she was on a tier 1, and so her working hours had to be rectified to maintain the restrictions applied.
And are you aware of company procedure, and did you feel that you were following correct procedure with changing hours?
I felt that I was following company procedure. I always follow company procedure. At this point, I didn't realise that I was doing anything wrong. I didn't know that I was doing anything wrong. I didn't have to check it because nobody's asked me about these hours before. So I didn't think that I made a mistake. So it's only now that I'm realising that it's quite serious, as I was only trying to look out for our member of staff.
I see. In reference to the allegation of deliberate adjustment to IMS receipts to avoid high markout of waste of products, do you have any argument or justification?
With regarding the IMS procedure, as far as I'm concerned, I only rectified the documents because of inaccurate delivery. This wasn't to do with me personally and manipulation of figures as such.
Okay. Both of these allegations are what we would consider manipulation or falsifying of company documents. Can you tell me what you believe the consequences are for such actions?
I'm unsure at this time.
Okay. Have you ever received a company handbook?
Yes, during my induction in 2002.
Okay. And have you read through what we have called the partner guide?
Yes, I have read through it, but again, that was in the initial stages of my employment. It's not a document that I feel that I need to revisit, as most of my experience and competency has been learned on the job.
Okay, I can understand learning by experience. However, I would I'd mention that you might like to make reference to the company guide to clarify how serious the consequences of manipulation are.
Okay.
On that note, I'd like to call a small, short adjournment for my client, please.
Okay, that will be granted.
Okay. So we're resuming our disciplinary hearing from the adjournment.
Yep. Okay. Are you happy to proceed?
Yes.
Thank you. Could you explain your conduct concerning allegations of bullying, for example, shouting and raising your voice at employees or correcting them in front of customers?
See, this I just don't understand. I don't understand why they would think that I'm shouting at them. I care very, very deeply about the people that I work with and everybody that I've worked with. I've worked for this company for over 10 years. I've never had this problem before. I just don't understand it. Like, I even get personally involved with those that I work with. Like, with one of my partners, I helped her with her marital issues. I spoke to her husband. I made sure everything was okay so that she can come and work. Even with the student with the visa, I made sure that she was within her requirements so that she can remain in the country. So I don't understand why people would think that I'm bullying or harassing them. What some people don't understand maybe about me is that where I'm from and how I was brought up. If we're passionate, maybe we sound more loud, or when we're excited, we sound more loud about some things. So for them to feel that I'm shouting at them and being horrible to them is just, I just don't understand at all. Maybe it's just misunderstanding. People are from different places, so maybe they're raised differently. But maybe if you speak to Rosella, the supervisor, you have her meeting as well. She would also tell you she's from the same place as me. We talk the same. So if we're happy, we shout. If we're not shout, we're loud. If we're maybe a little bit upset or we just need to get a message across, we have to be more loud so people can understand us. Maybe that's not how they do here, but this is how we do when I'm back home.
Okay. Would you consider that some of your involvement with other partners in a personal capacity might have been detrimental to your position?
No, I wouldn't say this. I think this is strengthened my position. Like, how would I have been here for so many years, managed so many shops, received awards from Starbucks as well for my performance here, if it's affected my performance and affected the performance of others? That doesn't make sense to me. So why didn't you ask all staff from who I've worked with before? They could have told you some things that's good about me and how I help them.
Okay. Thank you very much. We can sense your passion. I can tell you're very passionate. And I can agree with you. Marcella had great feedback and how you build her up. However, 2 of the other partners have said that they were uncomfortable with the names you called them. Do you have any insight on this?
But I've never heard this before. When I call them the name, they respond, they still do work, they still come in, they still smile at customers. I don't understand. If there was a problem, why didn't they speak to me about it? This is the first that I'm hearing that there's any problem with these names.
So from my understanding, this is the treatment that all partners play about with each other and have nicknames for each other.
Yes, we're like family here. Ask Rosella, she does the same. She calls me nickname, I call her nickname, we call each other nickname. It's fine. This is how we do in this store.
Okay. In the incident report, it says that you stated that you have to adjust finish times. What made you think that you had to do that?
Because sometimes partners will stay just to talk to me, like personally, like I told you, the partner with her marriage issues, sometimes she would stay and she'd just talk to me about what's happening at home. But if she's not working, I'm not going to pay her for when she's not working. I have to put it for when she does work. I'm not going to pay her more than that. And that's for the company's sake, not for my own sake. I don't benefit from that. It's your money, not my money.
Okay, it appears to me that you have considered the company when it comes to some of these payroll issues. Do you feel you have considered the company's reputation in your overall conduct when it comes to following company procedure and fulfilling your role as a manager in filling out documents correctly?
Yes, I always consider the company in everything I do. If not, I wouldn't work here 60 hours a week. Most people work 37 hours. I'm working 60 hours. That shows you that I must like the company and I must care.
Okay, thank you very much for all your feedback. Do you have any additional comments?
Well, there's one thing that I do want to mention. Previously, I made a grievance statement and nothing has been done, but here today I'm at disciplinary, so I want to know, because in our store there's some things that's not okay, like there's broken lifts, broken tills, broken things that we can't do everything with. So what about the working conditions for me, not just complaints about me? When will that be considered?
So today we are, as you said, conducting a disciplinary procedure. The two procedures are very different. They are addressed in a different manner and through different processes. So today we can only really address this disciplinary procedure that was put forward by a partner in your store, and we won't be able to consider your grievance on this occasion.
Okay, it's like I understand, but I don't understand, because so much I've done for this company and this is not fair to me. Okay, so when can I expect to hear a decision?
Myself and the HR representative will step out for a moment, we'll confer and we'll come back in. So you'll be hearing this afternoon.
Before that happens, I would just like to add, on behalf of my client as the trade union representative, my client was looking out for her partner in the best interest of Starbucks staff. She was clear of allegations made. According to her knowledge, she was operating according to the Starbucks handbook. She did speak to Mark for further training, which was not acted on by HR. It didn't occur to her that she could gain access to the training another way. My client was under the impression the employee had a Tier 4 visa, which she acted upon. She has always acted according to company procedures to the best of her knowledge. She was not prompted about the visa situation at all. In regards to IMS, she rectified documents due to the discrepancy she noticed in the delivery figures. My client has expressed she cares deeply for employees and does not intend on bullying or harassing any employees, at least not deliberately. Over her time at Starbucks, she has attained many awards based on her performance at the company. She has worked in many stores and has held a managerial position for over 8 years with no previous complaints or disciplinary actions. Based on her cultural background, when expressing herself, she's very passionate. Sometimes this may be misunderstood and can come across as aggressive. To her understanding, the employees address one another by nickname that is accepted by a vast majority of staff. She considers company regulations in all her actions. So might I add you consider that as well,
Thank you
please?
very much.
Yeah, we are. Thank you.
Shall we switch it on?
Jen? Yeah, we'll adjourn.
Yep.
Okay.
Start now.
All right, so we're considering the 3 allegations. We'll just start from the first allegation, that is of manipulating payroll figures.
Yeah.
Okay. According to our disciplinary policy and what warrants dismissal with or without pay, we have evidence of multiple disciplinary issues in that she has been called up on 2 cases of manipulation, and that warrants an act of dishonesty. There has also been deliberate falsification of company records in this manipulation. We won't consider aggression or violence towards others or the property of our company. We will dismiss the allegations of bullying and harassment, as it is clear that there's been a cultural bias between employees, and upbringing can't be changed. That's okay with us. We will also pardon the allegation of the food allegations. We'll pardon the allegation, but we cannot pardon the case of it being manipulated. But we won't hold the food issue against her. And do you agree with that?
Yeah, I completely.
Yeah. Do you
I
feel
think we can't take any action against it because we just.
And can we agree that we have followed the procedures of our company?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have come to a formal resolution.
Yeah.
And we can call in the partner.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Welcome back. After conferring with the HR representative in the presence of our legal advisor, we have come to a final decision of this procedure. Are you happy for me to run you through our decision?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. In the case of bullying and harassment, as a conferring team, we are happy to dismiss and pardon the allegation of bullying and harassment. We have considered the culture of your team, your personal culture. We've spoken with you. We can understand your passion, and so we won't hold any such allegations against you. In regards to manipulation of evidence, we will move forward with dismissal for gross misconduct. We have come to this decision because of a number of breaches of the company partner guide and of our disciplinary procedure. If you're okay with me running through the specific reasons, I would like to do that now. These are the following issues that have been deemed to be serious enough to warrant this action that is being taken, and they include multiple disciplinary issues, which are the 2 cases of manipulation that were brought up against you. In the one case of manipulation of payroll, that allegation is accepted, and we have agreed that you will be disciplined for it. In the case of the food, we won't hold the specific food issue against you. However, you also manipulated documents in regards to it, and unfortunately we have to uphold that as a case of manipulation of documents. With all of this considered, it falls under an act of dishonesty, and it also falls under deliberate falsification of company records. And finally, once again, I can say we have pardoned aggression or violence towards others or property. We've also considered that although we are going to move forward with dismissal of your party, that you will receive notice and you will receive a pay packet due to your previous reputation and the length of your service. Your service has been greatly appreciated to our company, and we hope that you will accept our decision.
I just meant to let you know quickly before you go, this is an informal decision, but you will get it in writing. If you want to appeal the decision, you have 7 days from the writing document that comes through. And if whatever decision is made in the appeal is final, so it can be a worse outcome, bear that in mind. In this case, that's irrelevant. But if there is anything more that you want to appeal from that, you have to take it to an employment tribunal, but that is the final decision of this disciplinary.
Right, well, my client will then be happy to see you at the appeal.